everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm just making sure that the stream is live. And where are we?
Not on
So if you can
YouTube
hear me
yet.
just talking. There we go. I can see it up on YouTube. How are we, tribe? Happy Monday or happy Sunday if you're in the USA or Europe. We're in the future here in Australia, and things are pretty good in the future at the moment. So when you get here, let us know how it works out for you. It is today we're going to talk about actually, Richie, if you want to, if you can just find that post on the Movement Mastermind so you can bring it up on the screen and people can see what we're talking about here. But I share these posts in our Facebook group, the UMS Movement Mastermind, to get people asking questions about what they need help with. And if you're watching on YouTube and you're not a part of that group, what are you doing? That's where we give free coaching. Literally, you can get our best programs for free, the 20-minute flexibility routine, the 10-minute warm-up routine, and you can get coached by us. You can post videos and we will give you free coaching. So search Facebook, UMS Movement Mastermind, and join. I did a post recently where I was doing this human flag, this eccentric straddle human flag. And it's funny because I was when I did this in the gym, one of our members was trying to learn how to do the human flag, and he was basically just jumping up into a flag position, and it was a good position, but he could barely hold it for 2 or 3 seconds. And I was talking to him about volume and about how when you're learning a skill, this is where people really go wrong with a calisthenics skill. They don't do a version that allows them enough volume to actually get a change. So you might be able to get into the position. Like a handstand is the classic one. People kick up and can barely hold it for a second or two, and they think that that's training, and it's not going to give you enough volume to really see any change. And so the purpose of that video, I was talking to him about using a regressed version and doing eccentrics. And a regressed version, for example, is the straddle. It makes it easier than a flag. And an eccentric version, instead of holding it, in this case, is much, much easier to do than a full hold, because in the hold, you're holding it at the hardest point. Whereas when you do that eccentric version, like what I did just there, if you show it again, Richie, you can see I go up to a much easier position because I'm above the hardest point. Gravity is stacking nicely for me, and I tuck my knees in so that I can hold it quite easily. And then, so I get into that position there, and then when I open up into my legs, into the straddle and slowly come down, I can control an eccentric contraction that does give me volume, and a couple of reps like that is really good. So that was the purpose of me doing that video in the first place. But when I posted this up here into the UMS Movement Mastermind group, the reason I did it is because I wanted to just talk to people about how if you want to get good at calisthenics, it's about developing strength and flexibility. And I never practiced the human flag, and I'm certainly not great at it at all. But by focusing on strength and flexibility development, it allows me to, when I say, hey, let's try this move out, you have a much better chance of doing it. And, Richard and Yanni are real testaments to this because they do even less calisthenics than I do. And they're better at a lot of the upper body strength calisthenics movements like planches and levers than I am, because they're both just stronger than me. They've done more strength training than I have. And so that was the purpose of this. And the reason why we're doing a little show on it now is because we've got a lot of engagement. A lot of people were really interested in it. People were asking questions, people were liking it. And it's a really important thing to understand that Yanni always calls it training versus competition. Competition might be that you play football or hockey or basketball or athletics, and you compete on the weekends. The training that you do during the week doesn't look like the competition. In fact, it looks very, very different because you have to make sure that you can perform at 100% during competition, and so you don't want to risk an injury during training. For me, calisthenics and movement skills and soft acrobatics, that's my form of competition. It's my way of expressing what I can do, but my training looks quite different. The training is about, like for example, on the weekend, I threw in a press to handstand when I was down at the park playing around, because I haven't done one I haven't trained press to handstands in years, and I just threw it in to make sure that I could still do it. But I'm not training press to handstands at the moment because there's other things that are more valuable for me. And, that's what I wanted to get across.
Yeah, we had a really great discussion with one of our tribe members last week who's trying to unlock the press to handstand, and she uh, she has limited flexion in her trunk, in her lower back, similar to you, Rad. And she's been
Mhm.
trying to unlock the press to handstand by practicing press to handstands with a variety of different gymnastics programming, coaching, whatever, for 2 years, she said. And she's very surprised she can't get a press to handstand. And I said to her last week, I would get what's your deadlift like? How strong is your deadlift? And she said, terrible, really weak. And I said, there's probably your problem. Your lower back isn't strong enough, and because of her ergonomics, her spine isn't able to roll up and coil up like someone who's really mobile in the lumbar spine. And so to overcome that, she's going to have to get brutally strong in the lats and erector spinae muscles, so that her erector spinae can just muscle her up into the press. And at the same time, work on improving her Jefferson curls and things like that, which are the strength and mobility skills that are going to open the lower back up a little bit. But there's a high probability that she'll never have a gorgeous J curl like some of the gymnasts who have really open spines, and so she's going to have to learn to work around that limitation. And the easiest way to do that is to probably two ways: get optimize body composition so that there's it's only efficient weight you're carrying, and dramatically improve the erector spinae and the lat muscles, which are going to be the muscles that pull you up into that press. And I think she was a little bit shocked that I told her to do it to do more deadlifting to improve her press to handstand. But I did a from the point that I decided to try press to handstand. It took me an hour to do my first press to handstand, and it's not because I'm good at calisthenics or gymnastics. It's because I've got a 220 kilogram deadlift, you know, and strong fundamental lifts, and then from there to tidy it up and to make it look nice, I just had to improve my pancake, my straddle, my flexibility in
To get better,
hamstrings.
Yanni had to come to me and ask for advice. Really,
But it's also the same as
that's
the
the way it went
deadlift.
down.
Sorry, it's also the same as the muscle up. You just needed to show me the skill, the false grip, and within an hour, I was strapping weight to my waist and doing muscle ups. Raw strength and
Yeah.
flexibility trump everything, and they carry over to everything. And it's the same in athletic performance. If you're training a professional athlete, one of the best things you can do, the late Charles Poliquin was the one that said this that I heard this from first. He said, "What's the best way to improve a linebacker's 40-yard dash?" And or so that's a big person, a big player, I'm quite sure. Uh, and everyone was going, "Oh, you improve their max squat, improve their deadlift, plyometrics, this and that." And he goes, "No, it's not. Improve their body composition. You take 20 or 30 pounds off someone who's carrying an in excess weight of 20 or 30 pounds, and it improves everything they're doing. Like for you to move, like I go for walks and hikes and stair sessions with a 15 kilos. So that's like 30, I don't know, 30 pounds, just over 30 pounds on weight vest. And it makes everything exponentially harder, And in calisthenics, that like even a few kilograms you're going to notice and you're going to feel. So, and a lot of people try to steer away from that. A lot of people try to avoid the reality that the best thing that they can do to improve the skills that they're trying to unlock is to improve the fundamentals: strength, flexibility, and body composition. Um, and but the reality is those are the things that are not 99% of the time going to yield the best result. And I think that stands true for just about any sport, except
Absolutely, 100%.
except maybe
And
sumo wrestling.
oh, man, those sumo wrestlers are flexible people.
No,
They
I
do
know,
that.
but they probably don't want to lose fat. They
Yeah, they
may
don't want
not
to
want to
lose fat.
improve
No,
their
no, no.
body
They want to eat it.
composition.
They want to eat as much as they can. Um,
I'm trying to think
yeah,
of another
it's a
sport where your body, maybe shot put or discus or it's any of those like explosive throwing sports, but you get my point. You know, you get my point.
Yep.
If you want to move more efficiently, if you want to move faster, more explosively, or more skillfully, then I guarantee you the three things that you need to focus on improving is strength, flexibility, and I say fitness, but body composition falls into that as well. You know. Anyway.
Yep.
Shout out to Dave
Yep.
Clark and
Yeah.
Kumran watching live on the Movement Mastermind group. Anyone who isn't, Rad always
Two
forgets when he
guys.
leads these shows. Smash the like button if you're on YouTube. And when are we doing our next flexibility challenge? 5-day flexibility challenge.
We're starting on it depends where you are in the world. It's the 4th of April in Australia or the 3rd of April if you're in the USA, UK, or Europe.
There you
So
go.
yeah,
Get
it's
yourself. That's
starting. It's basically 2 weeks from today. 2
another
weeks.
good reason to get yourself over into the Movement Mastermind group. Have a look around. Sample our free trainings. We've got the 20-minute flexibility routine, which is arguably our most successfully sold routine that we're now giving away for free if you join that group. And also our
Absolutely.
UMS warm-ups to optimize your performance in your workout. We've got an upper body and a lower body. They're 10-minute routines. They're very, very good. They're the exact thing we teach in the UMS program. And we give those away for free just so that you can prep your body and get more out of your workouts with whatever you're doing, you know. And then, of course, the mother of all opportunities is to join RAD in the 5-day flexibility challenge and have a breakthrough in your training and performance. It's a no-brainer, in my opinion. Kumaran's just jumped in the Movement Mastermind group and said Olympic weightlifting is another one up until the super heavyweights. They are pretty ripped. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, look at a gymnast. I think gymnastics. One thing that gymnastics is exceptionally good at is, any of the sprinting disciplines. You know, short distance running. Those physiques are optimized to the max, you know, to perform because they're performing in the most sort of dynamic way, you know, like that's the pinnacle of human movement, right? To move as fast as humanly possible across a certain distance or to be able to manipulate your body in those ways. And I think that we should all take something out of that. Like that's what I've never seen an Olympic gymnast hit the floor. I've just noticed that it looks like I've got half an eyebrow on my right eye. I don't know why.
Good times.
It's the lighting. It's the lighting. Yeah. Look. The Olympic gymnasts are a very efficient body. You know, if you look at them, both male and female. That's the pinnacle. I don't suggest that everyone try to get there because they go through a lot of trauma to get that. But you know, yeah, it's just we got to sort of face reality at some point. If you go to the gym and try to show off every time you go to the gym by doing fancy calisthenics, you're probably never going to get very good at your training. What Rad said at the very start of this is really important. You know, in the same way that a professional football player, if they just played football 7 days a week, they would either break down, get injured, or just wouldn't perfect the skills that they do. You know, that they need. Yeah. Anyway.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. All right, tribe, we got to go. We got to get into our UMS coaching group to give them their daily coaching. So anybody watching on YouTube, get on over to the UMS Movement Mastermind group, get your free training, and come and join me in the 5-day flexibility challenge. Guaranteed to give you a real breakthrough with your flexibility. No joke.
No
Don't
joke.
forget, is that like button?
Yeah.
You guys.
And hit the like button.
See you tomorrow.